Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So in today's video, I think I'm aiming for it to be a fairly short video, so apologies in advance. We're going to look at the Europa League Final. I didn't get a chance to do a preview video, so this will also serve as a quick preview of the Conference League Final as well. So it seems we're only going to talk about one game. It's not going to be a massive video, but there is a lot to talk about. I don't know if you watched the match, but it was pretty insane. First things first, we've been doing the predictions game on the official Europa League website all season. Let's look at the final results. So I got 9 points this week. I guessed that Roma would score, and I said they would score first, and I said Pellegrini would be the player to score, and obviously I used my boost because it was the only match. And it was 1-1, so I was, pretty close actually. So I got 4 points for guessing certain aspects of the game. And that's the boring bit over. Let's talk about the actual match. Now, it's pertinent that I use the word boring, because to an outsider, to a neutral, which I'm not because I support Roma, this match probably was a little bit boring. Wasn't much going on. Sevilla were really quite bad, couldn't string 2 passes together in the first half. And then Roma, after scoring towards the end of that first half, sat back. It was their sort of Mourinho tactic, get a goal. They were passing around lovely in the first half, first sort of 35, 40 minutes. And after that, I think they just went to defend too quickly. And at the point where they were attacking, Sevilla, who I anticipated from the first whistle would be all over Rome, wouldn't. They were very dour, surprisingly so. But then sitting back just allowed them to play the ball around, and they're a very good passing side actually. Being that they are from the Spanish league as well, very technical. A lot of their dribbling and passing was very nice to watch, although at times it didn't really go anywhere. Let's have a look at the actual stats. So, total shots, well, it says 19. I think the vast majority of those were in the second half. It says 1 big chance. I think lots of those were from quite a distance. Oh yeah, actually it's got the map there, silly me. Yeah, so look at them, they're all outside the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 were from outside the box. So, and then the ball possession in the second half, it was just all Sevilla. So Roma made a mistake by sitting back. We knew that Dybala was injured and wouldn't make all of the game, so he came off, which obviously is a massive shame because he is our set-piece taker as well. So, own goal, unluckily, from Gianluca Mancini, and the goal, basically, it's 1-1. Nothing really happens in extra time. I say nothing. Nothing in terms of football, like shots or saves. What did happen was yellow cards. Look at this. They've set a record. This and it's not just, I'm a Rome fan. I've watched them all season. I'm absolutely unperturbed. It's become normality for us now. I don't like it. I'm not saying it's the norm. It should be the norm or anything, but was it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. 1, 2, 3 there. 4, 5. So 6 versus 5. But then the managers got yellow carded. Some trainers got, like the goalkeeping coach or whatever, got yellow carded as well. It just got out of hand. That's the way that Mourinho have Roma operating, and Sevilla sort of lowered themselves to that as well. And usually it does get victories, but in this particular instance, it didn't work. Yeah, that's it. Jose Mourinho got one as well. It's a 7. And it just became really embarrassing, and the commentators were criticising it constantly. And yeah, it wasn't a great match to watch. And then obviously, there's all these, you can see it in the news there, deserve bans, need to take responsibility, because what happened is Mourinho felt that the decisions went against Rome. In particular, handball, which was definitely handball in the box. I think they didn't check it because the hand wasn't away from the body. I want to say they didn't check it. They must have checked it on VAR, but they didn't ask the referee to go over and have a look on the monitor. So yeah, that happened, and Rome felt they should have had a penalty in the second half. When they actually could be bothered to attack, they looked the better team, but they just sat back and let Sevilla just do all of the work. And in the end, when they needed to, they couldn't go back up a gear, and then we got to penalties. And as I said earlier on, in terms of penalties, Sevilla are a much better technical team on the ball. Think Rakitic, for example, one of the most skilled technical players in the world. And then also the penalties were just in a really they chose just random defenders and whatnot to take the penalties. Does it say whether? Oh yes, it does. There are the penalty takers. So Cristante took the first one and scored it, but then after that Mancini, a central defender, and Ibanez, another central defender, just missed. And by that point it was all over, because Sevilla looked as though they could have, not missed a single one all night. Plus their goalkeeper's Bono, who obviously did brilliant in penalty shootouts in the World Cup. And yeah, that was just a total disaster, and Dybala wasn't on the pitch. I think they must have been leaving Pellegrini as the last penalty taker or something, because he's the other set-piece specialist that we've got. So it was a complete mess, basically. So yeah, it was all in all a bit of a dismal night for Rome. They managed to get into the Europa League next year because they won at home on the weekend of the final match and put Juve into the Conference League. But, it could have been a Champions League spot, which is what Dybala, Mourinho, etc. wanted. So back in the Europa League next year. Remains to be seen what Mourinho's decide to do next year, whether he'll stay, whether he'll go, etc. We'll find out. But yeah, overall a bit of a drab evening, and Sevilla continue. Fair play to them, congratulations, felicitaciones. Sevilla continue to absolutely dominate this competition. I think this is the 7th trophy now, and basically whenever they get to the final, which is pretty often, they win it. And it beat Mourinho's historical sort of target that he'd never lost a final. So one of them had to go. Either Sevilla lost the Europa League final for the first time, or Mourinho lost his own cup final for the first time, and it was Mourinho's luck that ran out for the first time. So that's that. I'm going to predict the Conference League in a second, but drop me a comment and let me know what you thought of the match, if you thought it was the right outcome, if you thought it was a handball. At the time, I can see why it could have been given, but I'm not that upset about it. In conclusion, Mourinho also gave the referee a load of abuse in the car park, and then some certain Roma fans threw things at him and his family at the airport. So that's all completely unacceptable, and I'm not condoling any of that. It'll be interesting to see if UEFA have tougher rules for surrounding referees, abusing referees, etc., more protection for them, because they're in a really vulnerable position, and they do a really hard job. So I didn't think he did that bad a job, actually. I thought that his officiating was pretty good. If you are a Roma fan, or just if you watch the match, do you agree with me? Do you think that I'm wrong? Yeah, be interested to know. Okay, so that's the Europa League. I will do another one on the Conference League after Wednesday's match, because the video's coming out on Tuesday, so this is my prediction. I'm a bit worried. I think that 3 Italian clubs have got to the 3 European finals this year, and they're all going to lose, unfortunately. I think West Ham will be too strong. I said that Fiorentina will score first. I couldn't decide. I picked Jovic, probably a bad idea. And that West Ham would score 2, probably 1 late-ish in the match, and clinch it. If you are a Hammers fan, knowing that if you lose, they will sack the manager, do you still want to win? Do you want to get rid of the manager that bad? Or do you want to win and be stuck with him for another couple of months, a year? Let me know if you agree with the scoreline, with the outcome. And particularly if you're a Fiorentina fan, how excited are you to be on the verge of winning a European trophy? Okay, I talked longer than 10 minutes, so you don't have any ads at the end of the video now. And but sorry, it's still quite a short video all the same. Conference League result video coming later this week with a preview for the Saturday's Champions League match, and plenty of other videos on the way soon as well. Click like and subscribe if you're new, and also drop me a comment, and I'll see you all really, really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.